And it is my pleasure to introduce up next, representing Indigenize Toys, John Rabenek. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron. Great. I had this whole thing about like holding you off before lunch. I was supposed to be the last person, but no, I'm not. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Rabenek. I'm Coast Salish from the Snuneymuxw First Nation on my mother's side and English and Irish on my father's side. In Coast Salish culture, one of the greatest honors is to show up and to do good work. And it is in that spirit that I want to introduce my project, Indigenize Toys. First and foremost, this is my family. We're not so far removed from the impacts of colonization. My grandma was sent to a residential school when she was just a little girl. And to the right, you'll see an image of my brother with his newborn son in the hospital. 20 minutes after this photo was taken, the social workers from the hospital apprehended him and put him into a foster home. I just ask you to hold that image in your mind as it helps ground who I am and why I do the work that I do. At heart, I'm a tinkerer. While I have Western education in health and information science and Indigenous governance, it's not engineering or it's not computer science. However, I learn by doing, and when I see a problem, I tackle it head first, usually with a soldering iron in hand. It's usually my Indigenous values that guide me and really root me with the work that I do. Language loss is an issue across all of Turtle Island, and when I had my son, I saw learning tools hiding in plain sight. I had the goal of my son being surrounded by the language, our language, Ho'okame'lam, and really saw a lot of these resources in toy stores and things he was being gifted, which were all either English or in Canada we have French, and so a lot of his toys were not native speaking. And so seeing this issue in front of me, I did what pretty much anybody here would do, and I just ripped his toys apart, and I wound up investigating a little further and recognizing these toys are basically, you know, MP3 players essentially with speakers, buttons, batteries, and so I rewired them. I rewired them to give them new voices, to give them our voices. And it was with that, I was able to share this project with language nests and with families across our community in the Coast Salish region. And it was with custom PCBs and 3D printing that helped me iterate and create faster and really start to amplify things. So that brings me to my two visions. First would be a scalable prototype, one that would be open source, one that would be available to any community to be able to adapt and modify to their language as they see fit, as well as a mobile makerspace. The hope is that a social enterprise model would help ground things with the open source design, but the revenues and all of the inputs would result in more language experience and exposure, with profits being reinvested back into the community and having something supported within that community. With that, having open source toys across nations on Turtle Island, the hope would be a mobile makerspace where we could show up and we could run workshops, we could have train-the-trainer models for communities and really empower them to build these toys or build these resources in on their own. So I just want to return to that image from earlier. As I mentioned, 20 minutes after this photo was taken, my nephew was apprehended from the social workers and placed into a foster home. It was not a few weeks later that my nephew actually returned home, and he returned home to me. That was 9 years ago, and he is my reason for living and the reason why I do what I do. Just haichka to everyone, and I appreciate your attention. Thanks.